It is a story making national headlines. Cash App is reaching a $15 million class action settlement after security breaches put its users' information at risk. Now those consumers are eligible for up to $2,500. The company was sued over its response to security breaches over the years and alleges that it failed to put in security measures to protect its customers. One of those breaches resulted in numerous unauthorized charges impacting those users. Now, as far as settlement payments, the deadline to file a claim is November the 18th. The payout is going to vary depending on eligible losses and also how many people submit a claim. Well, you hear about these data and security breaches all of the time. It's not a matter of if, but when it happens to you. According to a report from Identity Theft Resource Center, the number of reported data breaches in the U.S. was up 78% last year. The good news in this, the number of victims impacted dropped to 16%, just a little over 353 million. The industries that say the most data breaches: healthcare, financial services, transportation. The report also found that nearly 11% of all publicly traded companies were compromised in some way last year.
Once your information is out there, and let's face it, it's a matter of when and no longer if. It's a matter of when you're compromised. If you can take your time to freeze your credit, do the annual credit report, see what's on there.
All right, so we're going to go over those things. Like you said, it's not a matter of if, but when your information is compromised. So checking your credit report is key to knowing if someone has stolen your identity. You can get credit reports for free through annualcreditreport.com. But the 3 credit bureaus also offer free checks of your credit report on their sites: Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. And yes, you should be checking with all 3 at least once a year. Well, one of the easiest ways to keep ID theft from happening is to freeze your credit. You can freeze your credit online, and it again is with all those 3 credit bureaus. What this does is it keeps other people from opening new credit cards or loans in your name. Now, don't worry, this is the big takeaway. The freeze does not impact the credit cards you already have. You can still use all your credit cards. Now, when you think about freezing credit and even checking credit reports, your kids probably rarely come to mind. But if scammers get a hold of your child's social security number, they can use it to steal their identity and steal their credit.
The children, you have to fill out their social security number for camps or various at school for different activities. And so little by little, their social security number and private information gets out to the public.
Well, first you want to check your child's credit report. This way you can tell if their identity has already been compromised. Second, you go through the long process of freezing their account. You're going to have to fill out information as the parent and then for the child. Then you're going to print it out and mail it with copies of your driver's license, the child's birth certificate, and social security card. Copies of those things, of course. This, by the way, is the law, how the process is done. It may be kind of a long and arduous process, but it's better than finding out at the age of 18 that someone else has been using your child's credit all this time. It is free and it protects your child's credit and identity. So let's talk about the difference between your credit card and your debit card. Before you say, you know what, you use your debit as a credit card, just know that while it sounds like there's a difference, there really is not a difference. Let's clear up a common misconception about your debit card and when you use your debit card as a credit card. It sounds like there's a difference, but there's not. I want you to see this and let it sink in. A debit card run as a credit is still debit and comes out of your bank account. A debit card doesn't have the same protections as a regular credit card. A disputed charge on a credit card doesn't really cost you any real money. But with a debit card, the money is out of your account until the refund goes through. And just keep in mind, when you use your debit card as a credit or debit at a gas station, there might be a temporary hold on your account for more than the purchase price. So there are 3 places that I never use my debit card. The gas station is one of them, and that's the reason why, because of the hold. Restaurants, unless I can watch my card being swiped, and anytime I shop online. So what is old is new again. An old way of scamming you out of your money is check washing. This is when scammers wash off your checks and make it out to themselves. To protect your money and your checks from this scam, experts say there are precautions you can take.
Old school, stealing from a mailbox, washing a check, trying to get money.
This is what check washing looks like. Checks are put into a solution and your writing, it just comes off.
The non-security pin, essentially, we have blanked out the pay to field.
So how can you stop this from happening?
Don't throw your flag up on your mailbox, that you have a check waiting for the mail carrier, because again, that's a sign, right?
Winston-Salem PD financial fraud detective Mark Barker says, don't leave a check in the outside mailboxes at the post office either. You need to walk it in. Use a gel pen when you write a check. These gel pens have ink that is harder to wash off. And instead of ordering the cheapest checks, make sure your check has security features that make the paper harder to tamper with. Well, the good news about check washing is chances are you are going to get your money back because you did not willingly give your money away. The bank will most likely see it as fraud and give you a refund, even if though it might take some time. Well, there are newer scams out there that will have you authorizing transactions, which means you could be out of luck when it comes to getting your money back. You may think that you are talking to the bank, your credit card, or a company you do business with, but really it's a scammer. And if they convince you to withdraw money from your bank account or send money using a payment app or give them the authentication code, you've then authorized the transaction and the bank does not see it as fraud. If you missed any of this information, you can find it on our Who Wants to Know section of our website or our YouTube channel.